Good day, everyone. It's another episode of my Pro Wrestling Society podcast, and today I'm going to be going over with you some very exciting topics that I think a bunch of you would enjoy, like Aro-Lucha becomes a fan-owned promotion with Rey Mysterio as the co-owner, updates on the Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground match card, my thoughts on final deletion, fans wanting to be wrestlers and whatnot, and a whole bunch of stuff today. So let's get started with it. Now this just broke in the news where Rey Mysterio has become the co-owner of Conan's promotion Aro-Lucha, which is pretty much a fan-based thing.
We are sticking together to win this war.
Sorry about that. That was an ad on the freaking article thing. I just wanted to read over with you what they said on the news. Just to give you an idea of what's going down. It says here, I think what we're doing with Aro-Lucha being fan-owned is revolutionary. We are giving the fans something they have never had before, a voice and a chance to get in the action. During President Barack Obama's final years in office, the federal government relaxed investor regulations, allowing companies to sell shares of stock to non-credited investors. The practice is relatively new, just taking into effect in 2016. The opportunity allows companies like Aro-Lucha to raise up to $1 million by selling a minority stake on company to fans. According to a report by the Securities and Exchange Commission from 2017, the median amount raised by companies utilizing the new tool was $171,000. Brown said raising some additional capital is just a small part of the strategy. Goal is to attract wrestling fans who will have a vested interest in supporting the product. Professional wrestling breeds rabid fans who will follow the ins and outs of storylines and character development. Aro-Lucha is believed to be the first fan-owned promotion. This gives fans a chance to get in on the action, but more so than that, it really gives them a voice. Especially at a company like ours, fans are so passionate they critique every storyline, every character. Well, we'll be able to actually listen to them. They're still looking for a way for fans to actually provide feedback. So yeah, pretty much they're pretty much pushing the boundaries and to fans, making them more involved in what goes on in the wrestling business. And this is pretty huge because finally fans are getting more involved in what goes on and be able to dictate what the show will be like and everything, and it's like I said before, wrestling is a very political business. It's always been based on what the fans want and what they want to see, but it hasn't always been that way to an extent, because the companies they had a control over they had a control over creative and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it wasn't, it was but this is just wow. This is something new, like like we've seen in Lucha Underground. Um, the interaction between wrestlers and fans was borders were loosened a bit. So with Aro-Lucha, fans being in charge of things as opposed to writers and a whole bunch of stuff is pretty groundbreaking. Um, the only downside to it is that Aro-Lucha is for me it's a family owned, family orientated product, so I'm not really sure how well I'm going to be invested in it. I did see a couple of matches with Fenix in it, I think, and Pentagon. So, and it was pretty. It didn't look that bad, honestly. I have to check it out more, but yeah, it's a pretty good promotion so far. Um, Although I don't know if it'll be my cup of tea, but that's just me. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty good to see that they're finally listening to fans and trying to cater to their needs and wants. So hopefully they'll be able to come up with some good storylines and whatnot. And that's pretty much all I had to say on that subject. So we're moving on to the next topic I want to talk about. It's the new Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground match, which takes um, plays later in April. Is between let's see, Fenix with Alberto El Patron against Pentagon Jr. No, actually, it's against. Sorry about that. It's against Austin Aries, like, with Fenix against Alberto El Patron and Pentagon Jr. So I'm pretty excited about that too. Although I don't really care about Alberto and Austin Aries that much. Um, I want to see Fenix go up against Pentagon Jr. That's all I care about. And I think they're brothers in real life, so that's pretty interesting. And they have made a tag team before in I think in Crash. Yeah, Crash. I think, and the other indie promotions. So it'd be pretty interesting. And they have wrestled before in Lucha Underground. And wow, what a match they put on! It was they've had some crazy good matches. Um, so I'm pretty excited to see what exactly is going to go down. Because these guys are just phenomenal high flyers. That's what I like about them. I mean, Phoenix, I'm not really a fan of either, but he knows how to tell a good story, like he did in the past. So, I mean, I'm pretty excited to see what goes down. Um, um, Although I don't know exactly what will be allowed in Impact Wrestling. Um, so it might. I mean, it's not on the same level as Lucha Underground, where they pretty much could do whatever they wanted in regards to weapons and stuff like that. So blood and whatnot. So this has been I mean, Lucha Underground is way crazier than Impact Wrestling, because unfortunately in Impact Wrestling they took out all the blood and gore and stuff. So it's not like it used to be in the good old days. So I don't know. Hopefully it ends up being good. Um, now I want to move into the final deletion thing. Okay, so a lot of Impact Wrestling fans have been talking about how good it was and, you know, how revolutionary it was, blah, blah, blah. But to me, I mean, honestly, if you ask me, it was funny, but it wasn't that good. It was kind of bad at the same time. It was just horrible. I mean, creative wise, because it just, I didn't see what was so good about it. I mean, it wasn't funny to me that much. And if you actually look at the ratings of Final Deletion, they went downhill after it actually happened. Like, they didn't keep the fans that they gained from that angle or whatnot. So how much of an impact did it actually make? An impact? Not much. If you look at it objectively, Final Deletion was just a phase. It was just a fad that just, you know, went on, and everybody forgot about it, you know. So that's why I didn't really care much about it, to be honest. I mean, I thought that it was funny that Jeff and Matt didn't take wrestling that serious. They just fooled around with it. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not much I can say about it. It wasn't it just got old really fast. So, and the next stop is fans wanting to be wrestlers. Okay, so let me tell you this story. Okay, so this guy, he messages me on social media asking me, you know, how can I become a wrestler? And I'm like, I was very honored that he asked me that, but I told him, you know what? I mean, I'm not a wrestler, so I don't know everything about there is to wrestling, so I'm gonna give you you know, what I know or what I like as a fan, and you'll decide if you want to take my advice or whatnot, and we'll do whatever you want. So I give him, you know, advice on how to build a character, how to tell a story and whatnot, and basically what I think is good in each wrestler. And then he talks about, you know, getting famous and whatnot, and making money and being like John Cena and stuff like that. And I just got a bad impression of that. See, this is the problem with fans wanting to be wrestlers, is that, you know, you can't go into the business and expect to be famous and get rich and what all this stuff is. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, I really hate it when people come in with that mentality. They think that it's easy and whatnot, and it's not. I mean, if you look at the wrestlers who actually got in the business and listen to what they have to say, they'll tell you it's really, really hard work. You'll be making like peanuts when you first start in the indies, and I remember one guy saying how like somebody actually died in the ring. One of my friends told me that somebody died because they made a mistake or something like that. So and this guy was talking about how, oh well, maybe if they gave me anesthesia, maybe it wouldn't hurt so much. And I'm like, no, there's no way they can afford that or do that. So so that's what kind of disappoints me about the new generation of wrestlers, is that especially the fans, is that, you know, they want to get into the business, but they don't want to put in the work that comes with it. And I don't know if the guy's serious or if he's just joking around. I hope he's not joking around. Because this is, you know, this people are passionate about this. They legit want to work, and, you know, they dedicate their lives to this. It's not something, it's not a get rich quick scheme that you can just take and you know, you'll be making tons of money, you'll get tons of women, and no, it's not like that. And as a fan, you know, I value hard work, I value dedication, I value the wrestlers who actually sacrifice so much to be on TV and in the business and whatnot. You can pretty much tell who's actually serious about it and who loves it and who doesn't. So I think the fans who want to get in it, I mean, they need a reality check, and they need to figure out if it's right for them, because if not, it's just, you know, it's just going to look bad. I mean, you got guys and who shouldn't even be on TV in the first place. I mean, I've checked out some of their matches and it's just horrible. Gosh, can't even believe, like, it's just, there's really nothing of substance to it, and it's ridiculous. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say on that subject. So yeah, pretty much covered everything. And one thing before I go, I would like to invite any indie pro wrestlers who are trying to get their names out there. I know I had Sabu and Melissa Coase on my podcast a while back, so I'm starting to pretty much promote any upcoming wrestlers. You know, yeah, feel free to message me, send me some of your work, and we'll probably set up an interview or something like that. Because we really need more people in the business and to pretty much, you know, entertain us. I'm tired of seeing, you know, I won't say I'm tired of seeing people, but it's like I'm tired. I'm running out of things to watch. So it'd be great if I could, you know, the fans could have more talented wrestlers make it in. So yeah, just let me know. And other than that, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and peace out. Oh, and don't forget to add some donations if you feel like it. All right. Peace.